A Day on the Focus. Whew. Hey everyone, and welcome back to A Day on the Focus. It's Anne here, your friendly neighborhood history buff, ready to dive into the fascinating events of March 10th. Buckle up, because today's journey spans centuries and continents. First off, let's go way back, way back, to 241 BC. That's right, folks, we're talking ancient Rome versus Carthage in the First Punic War. The Battle of the Galapagos Islands went down, and guess what? Rome completely annihilated the Carthaginian fleet. The end of a long, hard-fought war. Talk about a Monday morning victory, Fast forward a few centuries, and we hit 1496. Christopher Columbus, after founding Santo Domingo, decided to head back to Spain. Leaving his brother in charge? Bold move, Columbus. I hope his brother didn't inherit all the, interesting aspects of his personality. Speaking of interesting personalities, let's skip ahead to 1661. Louis XIV, the Sun King of France, takes the reins of power. Imagine inheriting a kingdom like that at his age. Must have been a pretty awesome, and possibly overwhelming, birthday present. Then, in 1762, we have a truly tragic story. Jean Calas, a French Huguenot, was wrongly convicted and tortured to death. This injustice sparked Voltaire's passionate campaign for religious tolerance and legal reform. A grim reminder of the importance of due process, even in those olden days. Now we have a few more fun facts. 1831 brings the creation of the French Foreign Legion. Those guys have seen some things, let me tell you. And in 1876, Alexander Graham Bell made history with the first successful telephone test. Can you imagine a world without phones? Me neither. March 10th has also seen its share of disasters. In 1906, the Courrières mine disaster in France was Europe's worst mining accident ever, claiming over 1,000 lives. Heartbreaking. And in 1945, Tokyo was firebombed during World War II, a devastating event resulting in a tragic loss of life. But there are also some pretty awesome births on this date. Ferdinand II of Castile and Leon in 1452, and Ferdinand I, Holy Roman Emperor, in 1503. Royalty galore. And so, that's a whirlwind tour through the historical events of March 10th. Now for the creative story. Imagine this. It's 1496. Columbus's brother, left in charge of Santo Domingo, is struggling. His meticulously organized supply of Roman wine, a leftover from a trade deal with some surprisingly well-preserved Roman colonists, is dwindling. He misses his brother's questionable leadership style. At least things were never dull. Suddenly, he hears about the incredible riches of the Galapagos Islands, discovered by accident just a few years later, which contains giant tortoises capable of carrying quite a lot of wine. He begins to plot a daring expedition, using the tortoise as living, slow-moving wine barrels to transport the wine back to Spain before it runs out completely. The idea might be ridiculous, but history is full of surprises, isn't it? And maybe, just maybe, his ingenuity will eventually lead to a new chapter, turning him into a legend alongside his more famous brother. Maybe it's enough to get him out of a very early and very sour retirement. And that's all for today, folks. Join me tomorrow for another fascinating dive into history on A Day on the Focus. Don't forget to tune in.